Hello and welcome to episode 6 of The Wizard, Meet Your Maker. Last time, Aribhin Foundling and his adoptive family went out for a lake day in celebration of Sapphirose, the Day of the Seas. While aboard a rental boat, they were harried by harpies and a battle ensued, during which each of the Foundling siblings displayed their individual talents. After returning to the shelter, Aribhin and his eldest brother Kabash had a heartfelt conversation. Kabash apologized for constantly getting into fights with Aribhin when they were young and gifted Aribhin some treasures found throughout his travels. Aribhin thought Kabash was acting strange but could deduce nothing else. The next morning, Kabash departed from the shelter, and that's where we pick up. In the days following Kabash's departure, Estelar and Castellan take it easy, taking a break from their normal duties, Estelar being a high-ranking administrator at the Beacon, Iomede's main temple and crossroad, and Castellan working at a local shelter and food bank operated by faithful of Erastil, the old Deadeye. The days pass, you spending quality time with your family. On the third day, after Kabash leaves, a message comes to you through the crosslink, and a runner delivers it to you at the shelter. From the Marble Mage, Relazir, back in the Undercity.
Oh. Ooh.
So the note arrives. Theo goes to the door with you, thinking that it might be for him. Essentially, there's a look on his face. But as you collect the note, it is indeed for you, and you open it up, and here's what it reads. As promised, here's an update after my second round of questioning of the corpse of Limo Torque. Not much more was learned, but he mentioned a word that these drow uttered. Limo did not know what it meant, and neither did I. The word was Sadus. Hopefully you can find out what it means. Hope this helps. Signed, Relazir, Marble Mage of Lolithir. And as you read this, it takes a moment, but you do in fact know what this means, because it's in Chthonian, the language of demons. The word Sadus roughly translates to gut, or a rough, swift bloodletting. What's the note, Aribhin? This is from Theo.
I feel like when I received it at first, I was like, oh, no way, because I was like expecting it from someone else or hoping for it from someone else, and then I read it and I'm like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. Okay. It's some follow-ups from what I was doing down in Lolithir.
Oh, cool. Is it interesting?
Yeah, they were. So you know how I mentioned I was pulling a corpse out of the a creature in the refuse heaps.
Oh
down
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Well, they used a spell to question it when I was down there, and then they held on to it to continue questioning, and they got a little bit extra out of it. Yeah, still don't know where that's going to lead, but interesting.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
And so then as you go back inside, you get a bunch of questions of who's the note from? Who's the note from? Everyone in your family is kind of asking you. Again, it's mostly just been you guys hanging out the past few days, unless there's anything specifically you'd like to have been doing. But yeah, it's kind of an event in the family when a letter arrives. So everyone kind of questions you a little bit. So yeah, so that word kind of catches you a little bit off guard. But nevertheless, your week continues, unless you wish to carry this message along to Kathos or anything like that.
Well, given as I'm... if it goes on too long, I'll bring it to him. Like, if it goes like a couple weeks or something without... Because I'm expecting him to come give me information as well. So, I'll worry about it for like a couple weeks.
A couple weeks, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the next event happens the following day as Amira begins to depart.
No! Wait! Oh. Okay, well, how... Are we having like a little farewell dinner or like a farewell breakfast?
Yeah, we'll say the night before she leaves, there's a farewell dinner. It's mostly the same as any other dinner in the past several days where everyone just kind of gathers in the shelter and has dinner, but this time there's a bit more of a bit more attention paid to Amira, perhaps, as she has announced that she's leaving the next day. Her kind of getting her belongings together and setting them out by the door so she doesn't have to essentially she's already packed and ready to go. She's got to wake up in the morning and then head out.
Cool. I'll probably ask her for like a refresher on what her day-to-day is like down there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, she just kind of tells you that, gives you like a rundown again of her day-to-day, which is pretty monotonous, of various people and researchers of all kinds, whether it's kind of arcanists, priests, simple kind of like archaeologist type people, using her essentially as a means to explore the gloom. As she kind of reiterates that sometimes she'll be gone for weeks at a time in the gloom, but usually she also is accompanied by soldiers or people that can fend off things that are out in the gloom that she does not quite specify. Mm-hmm. But she essentially has like martial escorts that guard her kind of sphere of light and protection.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll go and explore what are kind of like ruins, essentially. Sometimes they'll go inside buildings. She vaguely mentions that they've been hunting for some sort of like source of this gloom, but none really has been found.
You said they aren't really keeping you in on the loop on what their operations research, right?
No, not really. I mean, maybe if I really asked, they would let me know a little more, but mostly I'm just so tired and exhausted that I don't even think to ask by the end of my day. And then next thing I know, we're back and everyone I was with has disappeared to go and report back to whoever they're reporting back to, or take samples back to wherever they're taking samples back to. But no, and to be honest, Aribhin, I don't even know how much they know. Sometimes it seems like I'm as lost as some of them are.
It still seems like you're, I mean, to put it bluntly, being used. I mean, I know you got called down there. I'm not questioning that or anything, but I mean, you got sent there by a god. I feel like they should be involving you more.
I mean, they don't really know that, I guess, but yeah. It's okay. I mean, it's what I'm supposed to be doing, I guess.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean, they couldn't be doing it without you, really. I mean, I feel like you could be leveraging your position a bit more if you wanted to.
Well, I guess I just don't really want to. I don't know. I don't. You get the sense. Okay, this is rolling sense motive for you, essentially. That's cool. You get the sense that she feels like she is being used like a tool as well, but has kind of accepted her lot. And despite all of this kind of weariness, you see a bit of a sense of hope in her that something's going to change. Something's going to happen. It's bound to. So you get the sense almost that she has accepted this monotonous exhaustion for the time being. Mm-hmm. And you also get the sense maybe that she's perhaps a bit lost as to what she could even ask.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I don't know the situation. I'm not in it, obviously, but you're Saren Ray's child. Like, I feel like if you wanted to, you're a big player in this. She sent you there, so I wouldn't let them take advantage of you.
Well, thank you, Aribhin. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem.
So yeah, the next day, she dons her armor, straps the sheathed scimitar to her belt. You haven't really seen her in her armor and weaponry so far, but you recognize the scimitar as the favored weapon of the Dawnflower. So Amira says her farewells. Shinowis is certainly crying. Amira sheds a little bit of a tear. says farewell to the whole family, and everyone kind of agrees to see her off at the crosslink station. Mm-hmm. She gets on the first line and heads back down the way that you just recently came from. Probably the same way she just recently came from. Heading back down as far south as the crosslink will take her, and then a long journey overland awaits.
Yeah.
A couple more days pass when another message arrives at the shelter. This one's for Theo.
Aww.
And he opens it. You watch. Again, I'm going to make another secret check for you. You watch, and he reads the message and essentially turns to the family and says that Silverstring has told him that he's set out for winter break and he'd like Theo to join. They've been invited by Lord Whiteflame to play before his court.
Oh, so cool.
So Theo kind of, well, one last dinner, I guess. Another dinner is had, not too dissimilar from the ones previously. It's a pretty good day overall. I'll say that Theo, though, before dinner does kind of like ask everyone to kind of go out on the town just a little bit with him and just kind of wander around. He wants to go to, he was thinking about buying a new instrument at a music shop that he went to the other day, and he wants everyone to come with him. And he takes you back. He takes like basically anyone who will come, which is pretty much everyone. He lugs like the whole family through the city up to a music shop where he begins to sample many of its instruments and just kind of show off for the family a little bit, all of his kind of technical skill on the instruments here, and eventually buys a new flute.
Oh.
But everyone comes back for dinner. This time it's another carry-out meal. This one from another favorite from your childhood. The mood's a bit somber as there's only 3 of you here now. Theo, Gilia, and yourself. The conversation isn't super lively, and Shinowis is compensating a little bit for the somber tone of the meal. So Kabosh and Amir, they're looking really tough and professional these days, huh?
I agree.
Yeah.
Was Kabosh a little weird to you guys at all?
Gilia is like in the middle of like pulling a kind of a bramble out of her hair. She's like, I didn't notice.
Oh.
But Estelar's like, he seemed fine to me. You're not quite sure if he actually thinks that or if Kabosh can just knew no wrong in his eyes, given his connection to Ayomade.
Yeah.
But Castellan is like, how do you mean?
I guess he's always been a bit sentimental, but I don't know. Seemed to be pensive, I guess, as he was leaving. Well, missed him in the morning, but the night before.
Theo says, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Mm-hmm. Something, I don't know, like something was bothering him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just seemed kind of spacey, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He, asked me why we fought so much as teens, and I didn't know really what to say other than, I don't know, it's normal. But that was unexpected.
Shinos is like, that's what I was always saying. It's just, you guys were brothers. She kind of moves on into kind of like that specific topic, as she was often the mediator between the two of you. But Shinos kind of picks back up the conversation a little. She's like, you 3, I know that, well, I guess Gilia, you seem to have been very busy lately, but you 2, and she looks at you and Theo, she's like, I'm sure that your gods at some point will reach out. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of what exactly your godparents have planned for you. They're going to reach out. It's going to come together. I mean, you're both really young, too.
Yeah. Fair
Especially you, Aribhin. I mean, you are like a baby compared to Estelar here. And Estelar's like, hey, now. It kind of goes quiet once again, and she picks it back up. She's like, I bet you that Iomide is preparing Kabosh for some big, mighty evil or something, like some big, terrible creature, like a big evil dragon or kraken or something. And that's why he's been traveling with the Grimies, even though he hasn't really loved doing it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, everything's going to work out, I'm sure. I would love some clearer signs. I mean,
she kind of like turns to you, say that, and she turns to you. She's like, it'll happen. And she continues rambling, now speculating on what great task Saren Ray, the Dawnflower, has planned for Amira, when something catches the corner of your eye through the arched windows of the shelter, which Castellan opened earlier in the evening. Your stomach lurches into your chest as you see a black, shimmering, rippling doorway, looking almost like a tear in reality, leading to some infinite abyss. It hovers just beside the pond out in the yard.
I feel like I choke on whatever I'm drinking at the time, and I'm like, fuck, look.
Okay, so you spit, and they all immediately look to you, and then look where you're pointing. You're not looking at them, but you hear like a couple of gasps as they see this through the window. What do you do?
I'm gonna fumble out of my seat, and I'm gonna try to keep my eyes on it without blinking. I'm gonna try to get to it, even if it takes going through the window, so that I don't have to take my eyes off it.
Theo's like, go, you should go.
No, I'm going.
Estelar's like, I don't think you should do that. It looks menacing. I'll say this. It's across the entire shelter and through the window. How do you get there? You're keeping your eyes open, but what do you do?
So I can see it through the windows, right? And the windows are open.
Yes.
I climb through the window.
Make an acrobatics check with a -5 penalty, if you don't mind.
No. Mythic point.
We're going to rewrite fate?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, right. I rolled the same thing on the die. Okay. So 25.
So this is just to climb. So as you kind of go over in that direction, you do kind of start to climb the window. I also need you to make, for me, a quick fortitude save.
No! Why? Okay, that's much better. 30.
You rolled a 30?
I rolled a 30.
Okay. So you begin to go to it. You hear Estelar going, Aribhin, don't go through there.
I'm like, what? As I'm climbing through, I'm like, what are you talking about? Why?
He's like, you don't know what could be behind there. Aribhin, please, don't do that.
I'm doing it.
You doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you press on. You are like your eyes are glistening tears, and some are starting to run down your face because you're keeping your eyes open. It's kind of across where you came out the window. It's kind of across a little bit of the water.
Oh my God. I guess I go around it.
All right, make a reflex save.
How deep is the water?
It's not deep. It's like the muck that I'm having you roll against.
Oh.
This is like a path of insane resistance.
God damn it. Okay. Reflex. All right. 21.
21. Okay. You press on, getting to the edge of this black tear. Estelar is still calling for you to stop. You hear movement behind you. Like your family has come out to watch this happen. It feels cool. Your tears running down your face as you just are willing yourself with that 30 fortitude save to not blink for this long. But something in you stops. Estelar is begging you to stop. Do you go? Do you press into this?
Does it like look menacing? Like,
It's a shimmering, rippling black. Like it looks like the abyss is beyond it. Not the abyss in in like the sense of like hell or anything like that, but just like a black void. And you stand at the edge, and as you get here, suddenly the excitement begins to feel a little bit like fear.
what?
Just because you have seen this so many times. Mm-hmm. What is your choice here?
Does I'm doing it.
Okay.
Oh my.
You step into the shimmering abyss, leaving the shelter's yard and your murmuring family behind. You feel a cool sensation on your skin, though your stomach lurches as if falling from a great height. When next you inhale, it's desperately pulling in air as though you just burst through water's surface after too long of a dive under. You feel ill, out of whack. Your head hurts, your vision's hazy at first, requiring several moments and blinks to clear so you can see. Your boots, still damp from walking through the edge of the pond, land on uneven dark stone. You have to catch yourself slightly so as not to stumble. And as your eyes take in the view around you, you realize that if you had stumbled, you might have plummeted into some great unfathomable beyond. For you stand on the edge of a rock, one that floats among a vast cerulean expanse, cluttered with dozens or hundreds of similar asteroid-like shapes that drift aimlessly in the void. The rock you're standing on drifts slowly but steadily and appears as though it will eventually smash into another. Below this rock is an immense city, built into a stagnant, unmoving stone expanse miles across in each direction. It's the only structure in this void that's not moving. Though what grabs your attention the most is the figure floating in front of you, looking down upon this sprawling, colorful city anchored within the unmoving stone. Shoulder-length, wavy white hair drifts in the air. A lightweight black robe trails down to its bare feet. Its arms stick slightly out to the sides. The right is normal, skin-colored, with just the faintest hint of some kind of ethereal blue energy. The left is black, run through with streaks of red, almost like a volcanic surface spilling with lava. The blackened hand twitches. Each time my eyes land upon Galasimni, I can hardly restrain the urge to level it, to tear apart its wards and send it hurtling through the void. The city's an affront to this plane, spits in the face of all it is. It can fend off the Proteans, but not so with me. The other hand twitches, the voice changing slightly. But is it not a testament to the will and genius of mortals? The magic holding Galasimni in place is a thing of utter beauty. I can never destroy such a masterpiece. Kind of turns, looks over its shoulder slightly. It's about time you came. What took you so long?
It's talking to me.
Mm-hmm. You're the only one on this rock other than this creature, this figure.
I'm very like, yeah, it takes me a minute to process that it's like talking to me.
And you're also still recovering from that horrible sensation of getting here, but mixed with the excitement of possibly finding some answers.
Yeah. Sorry. I tried, but sometimes it would get a little lost along the way.
I find that blinks are a perfect measurement of time, perhaps, but more importantly, of thought. I find that each time I blink, my thoughts shift. Even if I'm considering the same material, some new angle has occurred, or I'm thinking of it differently. Do you find the same?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yep. Uh-huh.
The figure turns for the first time, now facing you. And you see that the figure's face is also split in half, with piercing, glowing blue eyes. So half of it looking kind of skin-colored, maybe just faintly glowing, just like a slightly ethereal blue, but still looking pretty normal. The other half, that black riven with red. Are you hungry? Thirsty?
Yes.
You watch as the kind of skin-colored arm waves and suddenly appearing on this rock, this drifting, floating rock, hurtling through this void. But still, it's not like you're not flying off of it or anything. You're steady upon it. A table appears, spread with all kinds of food and drink, food that you've never seen before, of colors and shapes and sizes that you've never seen before. The same with drink in vessels and glasses and chalices of absurd proportion and strange appearance. Stuff that you've never seen before. But also food home to the universe, home to Abaria. You see all kinds of food just spread across this table. And he turns back to keep looking at the city below.
I grab something to hold in my hands to be polite, but I'm not. I don't have an appetite. So I just kind of keep watching.
Suddenly, the black side of the face kind of turns over the shoulder and goes, "Why are you here?"
Looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you could help me answer that.
Then suddenly that one kind of turns away and the other one casts, the other side of the face turns and casts a look over the right shoulder. It's like, "Oh yes, I invited you." "Well, I'm afraid I'm rather busy. I usually am. You're an interesting boy." And the other face again turns back. "Not quite everything I'd hoped you'd be, but..." And then the other side turns back. "You're on the way there." And then it kind of stops for a second. And that side of the face continues. "No, that was rude. You're doing excellent. I've been watching you, you know. And all these experiences you've been seeking out, slaying monsters, investigating demon worshippers, dissecting the arcane, all those wonderful trysts in the baths at the academy. Well, I've experienced the wonders of mortal kind for the first time in millennia, and through a child of my own, no less." And then the other side of the face turns back again. "You aren't the first."
You say are or aren't?
"You weren't the first." And then the other side turns back again. "Well, you're the first to make it all the way to living." It says, "I'd been tempted to create a child before, but each time I destroyed it before it could draw breath. Too distracting, too..." And then turns and looks at you again. Curious, cocks its head. "Have you met your parents? Your mortal parents, I mean."
No.
The other one kind of cocks its head in the other direction, back towards the black side of the head, the face. "You're not missing much. They just sit on that rock and read, uselessly and frivolously praying to me constantly." And then kind of looks off into the cerulean void. "Why do I not just destroy them? Pitiful things." The other side. "Well, were it not for them and their natural intellect, you would not have had adequate mortal seed and womb." And you see there's some sort of internal debate happening here that is literally happening in itself and speaking out loud. And you're not quite sure how constant this is. Or you're not sure if this is how this being is all the time. It seems to calm slightly. "As you can see, I can hardly ever agree with myself. Choices, simple ones even, are impossible. That's part of why I made you. To watch you learn, see you choose. Momentous times are ahead, child. But do not expect me to divulge how. No, you must learn for yourself. See for yourself, choose for yourself. Choices, they're impossible. And then you see he just walks over. There's something strange about the appearance. It kind of shifts as you see this creature. As it grows closer, for example, you can't tell its exact height. It looks at times huge, but at the same time, sometimes it looks your height or normal sized. There's something kind of strange in beholding a god with your own eyes, where there's nothing quite tangible about it. It's ever shifting, though the essence of the visage of this black, scorched, riven with kind of red lava type appearance, it's always there, but at times it will just change slightly. And there's not a solid visual of this person. Does that make sense at all? It's ever kind of changing in slight, strange ways. So you watch as this person approaches the table and begins to eat.
I've been at like a loss of words for basically all of this, especially with like the ping ponging around. Like he'll go from like saying like my worst fear, like saying I'm not adequate, to saying like no, actually I'm doing great. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. I'm just gonna continue observing, I guess.
You watch as I mentioned earlier, the rock that you're on was heading slowly but steadily towards another rock. It was going to crash into it. And you watch, it's getting close. It's getting close, and this worry begins to, your heart begins to quicken its pace because it's getting closer, and this person is doing nothing about it.
I trust them.
Okay. It gets closer and closer, and you realize that the proportion, the rock that you're heading towards is much bigger. It looks as though this one's going to just like smash into pebbles against it. You're just hoping, putting your faith in this person, this being, nothing will happen. And sure enough, as it gets close, the left arm shoots out, the blunt black scorched arm shoots out, and suddenly this massive kind of asteroid-like floating rock just splits into two, just like it's nothing. And then suddenly you just part through it, and each of the split parts shoots off into space.
And I like take some personal satisfaction in having trusted them. Do I know anything about who this might be?
Make a religion check, please.
Okay.
And by the way, this being has like almost ceased to pay attention to you at the moment. It's like off in its own head while it's like snacking on some like very foreign looking food that you can't tell what it is.
Okay. 24. Wait, no. Wait, yes. Yeah.
24. So, I'm going to put it this way. Throughout your childhood at the shelter, there were many, many, many lessons on religion, going all the way back to the Forging War, which was the war that decided the fate of the universe and sort of was, in its own way, the creation of the universe. This massive war between the bright ones and the fell. As you're looking at this creature, this being, thoughts race through your head. You realize throughout all your lessons, you only really much learned about the bright ones. Though there were gods that ascended after the the Forging War, Caden Kalian, Aurorai, but these weren't touched on a lot. Even Caden Kalian, who has a pretty good reputation, weren't touched on a lot. Aurorai wasn't touched on much. The Master of Masters, the god of knowledge or sort of self-perfection. And you begin to realize that your knowledge on gods outside of the bright ones, or at the very least, the most popular, widely worshipped deities, is kind of lacking. And your memory flashes back to moments where you would hear your parents talking worriedly and mentioning your name. You recall hearing the name Callistria, the savored sting. And after that, you looked into Callistria and learned that she's kind of goddess of kind of hedonism and trickery. But you begin to wonder how many gods you weren't really taught about. And you wonder how much of that was due to the fear in your parents that one of their children might be born of one of these gods that they didn't want them to be born from. Your mind flashes back once again to a different memory. This one at Dragonmount Academy. One time you were wandering around in the library, and it's kind of like a section that no one really went to. Not because it was like a restricted section or anything like that, just a kind of forgotten, kind of boring, old part of the library. Off in the corner, though, you saw a dusty shrine. And on that shrine, there was the symbol of a mask. The mask was split in two. You asked lightly about it, just wondering what that was. And we're told that it's some old kind of god of magic named Nethys.
Huh. Yeah, I upon remembering my parents like speculating negatively, I roll my eyes at that and I like push it aside in my head. But yeah, I'll remember that and I'll be like, and I'll ask this person, what should I call you?
Looks over to you with those piercing, glowing blue eyes. And I mean blue in the sense that they are all entirely glowing blue. Oh. Call me what you like, I suppose. But many call me Nethys. Others, the all-seeing eye.
First of all, thanks for bringing me here. But why? What do you want something from me? Is there anything I can do for you?
You see the blackened side of the face turn, look at you with that. Like there's something almost, you can tell which side is the one looking at you almost, even though it is the one in the same face. And it says, what would I need from you? And suddenly the other one kind of comes back. I just wanted to meet you.
Yeah, I wanted that too. But why did you make me?
I had toyed with the idea for a very long time. But once I saw some of the others doing it, I thought, why not join the fun? You see, some of them were meddling. are meddling. This is back to the blackened side. And I want some say. And then the other one comes back. No, I don't want any say. I can't choose. I've never been able to choose. I thought you might be able to. Choices lie ahead.
Oh? Well, I was anticipating that you'd maybe, give me a little bit of direction here, but
The other face comes in. Direction? You need direction. There is no direction. There has never been direction. And he kind of, with the blackened arm, waves out into the expanse. In all of creation, there is no direction. Only what you do. What I do. What they do. And points down to the city below. And then the other one comes back. I cannot say much. But what you do matters. Trust that what you do matters. Now, I must be going.
oh,
And you see summoning out of nothing a mask that he puts onto his face. Part of it white, the other part black, split evenly down the middle, and says, you can't tell what voice is emerging at this point, now that the kind of face and eyes are masked here. I will send you home now, but your body will not be happy, having traveled through gates twice in such a short time, especially since you've never traveled this way before. So I will make the adjustment easier for you. And as you go, I could tell you're willing to speak. The arms kind of reach out, but pause as you kind of start to speak.
well, when can we talk again? You can talk to me anytime if you want, by the way.
You see the head tilt down. You can't tell if there's a smile or anything on the inside. So you just hear, just keep your eyes open. Goodbye, child. And you see as suddenly both hands, blackened and non, reach out, and suddenly your vision goes dark. An unknown amount of time passes. The last thing you saw was this creature of indefinable size, both arms outstretched, palms towards you, the cerulean expanse behind them, and your vision fades. You wake up to a throbbing, pounding headache. Just like when you entered through the gate, your vision hazy. It takes you you have to put your hand up against the side of your head and rub your eyes to get any sort of remotely clear vision. But as you do, even before your vision is totally clear, you can see the inside of your room at the shelter. You can see on your nightstand a few notes and letters, as well as a bottle of wine. The wine bottle is wrapped with a bow on it. And as you look around, the door is kind of ajar, but not shut. You're not sure how much time has passed.
But I feel like shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just a pounding headache or
That's all you. That's most of what it is right now. But you just woke up and you're laying in bed.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll say that as you begin to move around a little bit, your stomach hurts really, really bad.
Okay.
You feel very ill, but not sick with the flu or anything. Just something is wrong with your body.
Okay. Um, I'm just gonna like lay and process for some time. Um, it's like I'm laying here just like there aren't even thoughts going through my head. It's just what. I guess I'll lay here for like an hour. Is there like any water in here? Am I thirsty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your mouth is completely dry. Yeah, there is a glass of water sitting on the side of the bed. You're not quite sure how long it's been sitting there, but sure, go for it.
Yeah.
None or some is better than none, even if it's old.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, as you reach out your arm, you realize how weak you are, and your hand is like trembling as you grab this glass and kind of bring it to your lips, and some of it kind of spills down your chin.
Mm-hmm. Do I like? I'm so lost. Here we go.
Here we go.
Just a bunch of sitting here confused.
All right. Eventually, you lay there for a while, just feeling like crap. Eventually, the door opens. You hear some familiar humming as coming in, just dressed in kind of essentially a bathrobe, but carrying like a little replacement glass of water is Shinowis.
Oh.
And she comes in, she's like, and she enters the room and she kind of approaches. She doesn't even realize you're awake. And she goes and kind of like changes out the glasses of water and turns to try to like pour some in your mouth. It looks like maybe like feed you some. And she sees you awake and she's like, oh, and I'm going to see if she drops it. No, she manages to hold on to it, but a little bit sloshes out and onto you. Feels cold. She's like, you're awake.
Yeah.
Well, how are you? How are you? And she sets down the glass of water and sits down on the bed. She kind of has to climb up onto your bed just a little bit and sits down. She's like, are you okay?
I don't know.
Well, what happened? What happened? And she kind of like strokes your cheek a little bit. She sees that like you're kind of hesitating here and overwhelmed. And she's like, well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And she's like, just drink some water. There's some letters for you that came while you were asleep. Some of them are, one's from Amira, one's from Theo. I can read them to you if you'd like. One's from your Nephilim friend, the one with the horns.
I think as I'm like thinking back to things that just happened, the like the fact that they didn't teach me as much as they probably should have is irking me. So I just no, that's okay. I think I just want to be alone.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me know. I can make some soup or something. You've barely been able to keep anything down, but
How long have I been asleep?
about 3 weeks.
Holy shit. Fuck. Okay, I wait for
Okay.
away.
Okay. Let me know if you need anything. Just, yeah. Okay. And just turns and leaves.
Yeah, so after having like time to myself, thinking of nothing, and then having her come in, and then realizing there are now things that I'm angry about, and kind of it's settling in that experience, finally meeting my God, was not how I had always hoped it would go. Um, and I'm completely at a loss because my entire life I've been, planning on someone's going to come along and tell me what to do. And this guy came along and said, fuck that. I shall not be doing that. Not now, not ever. And also, you're an idiot for ever thinking you've ever interpreted anything. Fuck. Holy shit. Okay, now I'm mad. I'm gonna try to stumble out of bed.
Okay, make a quick fortitude save for me, please. You technically still have mythic points if you need to use them.
23.
23. Okay, that's enough to get up and like move around, but you're just not feeling very well, and it takes some effort on your part just to get out of bed and like go wherever you are going, like leaning up against walls and stuff, just to kind of get your balance and kind of get on your feet because your legs are very weak too. You're not sure how much of it is just from laying in bed for 3 weeks, and how much of it is from what Nethys said.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 letters on your nightstand, kind of individually, and then one is essentially like affixed to the bow-wrapped wine bottle.
Can I briefly, like at a glance, see who these all are from?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay. 12.
12. You're not quite sure. You're not totally sure. The wine could, you don't imagine the wine's from Amira, but it could either be from Kathos or Theo.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to come back to those. I'm
Okay.
going to leave my room and
Okay.
I'm going to see who all is here.
Okay. As you head out, it's pretty quiet in the shelter. Shinawis is currently nowhere to be seen. Neither is Castellan, neither is Estelar. It's a kind of empty shelter right now. But the door leading out to the yard is open.
Okay, I'm going to go out there.
Okay. You head out into the yard, realizing you have no clue what has transpired in the last 3 weeks. And that gap just feels so bizarre. As you walk out into the yard, you see Gilia looking a little wore out, a little bruised and scraped up. You see that she's on the ground right now with a pot of soil that she is messing with.
Well, what happened to you?
Gilia turns, she goes, "Oh, hey, you're awake.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy. Got in a fight with a tree knight.
Great.
I was protecting this thing, but I didn't want to hurt him, but I really needed it. I talked to the High Gosrin up at the Weathered Belfry. I had to hike up there, see him, and ended up learning some things about myself, actually, while I was up there. But he told me that he knew I was seeking something and told me where it was, which was actually over in the Welcoming Woods, which is the big, big forest outside the city.
Yeah. Like listening to her talk about that, like, it's crushing me a little bit. Mm-hmm. What's in the pot?
I don't know. It's some kind of seed. But I can't really tell what, actually, which is weird for me. But it's a whole story. I can get into it if you want.
Maybe later. Do you know?
She kind of stands up. Her hands are all soily and dirty. She comes up. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you still sick?"
I mean, yeah, sort of. I don't think you get it, but do you know where anyone is?
You watch as she kind of channels her kinetic gate of water, and water kind of rolls down her arms and cleanses her hands of the soil and dirt. And she kind of like rubs them on her shirt. She's like, yeah, I think Estelar is just at work right now. I think Castellan is too. They all kind of went back to work after Theo left.
Well, what about Shinowis?
I don't know. I just saw her a little while ago. I think she was getting some more water for you.
Did anyone say anything after I? What happened? What happened?
At this point, you're feeling kind of weak, and she pulls up one of the chairs that's out in like near the pond for you. She's like, "I mean, yeah, it was crazy. You walked in, everyone was like yelling after you, or we didn't know what was going on. I mean, it looked like some kind of gate, you know? Like, I don't know if anyone else in the family's seen one, but I've seen one. Not that, but anyway. You walked in and just sort of disappeared. And then it disappeared. And none of us knew where you went. And everyone was kind of freaking out. And Estelar was yelling, and he was really mad and yelling about how you shouldn't have done that because who knows if you're ever going to come back. And I think Shinowis was crying, and Theo was just kind of standing there. And Castellan was sort of just, I guess, hugging Shinowis a little bit and telling her it's going to be okay. And we all just kind of were there for a little bit. And suddenly, the next thing we knew, you just kind of flew back out and landed on the ground. I don't know if it appeared again or if you just appeared again, and then suddenly you were just laying there and unconscious.
Okay.
Look, Aribhin, can I get something for you? What can I, are you okay? What can I do? You seem...
I think I need to learn more first before I talk much about it.
And she's like reaches up one of her little gnome hands and kind of like grabs your hand. And she like squeezes it. She's like, "Hey, everything's gonna be all right."
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll squeeze her hand and then yeah, I'm gonna leave her.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go to the library.
Okay. As you begin to walk down the road, it's kind of far away. You realize that you probably will need to hire some kind of carriage or something to get you there because you're very weak.
Yeah, might take some kind of something painkillers. I'm gonna snatch up that bottle of wine. I'm gonna see what the note on the bottle of wine, who that's from.
So before you leave,
Yeah.
you head back in and yeah. So you open the letter attached to the bottle of wine, and sure enough, it's from Kathos, and it just says, "Aribhin, hope you wake up soon. Come and see me once you do." And then Kathos Mylonir.
Nice. I'm gonna take this bottle of wine. I'm gonna drink it on the way to the library.
Okay. Okay. Make a fortitude save.
I'll take some bread too. Oh! One.
You take at the first sip of wine, you feel it coming up immediately. First sip.
Okay, fuck. I puke out the window.
Okay. The carriage driver's like an older halfling man. He's like, "Hey, watch the carriage."
Sorry, okay? Like a really bad day.
So he takes you up through the city and up to the Continental Library, is what it's called here, this massive sprawling library. As you get out, you have still an open bottle of wine, and you stumble kind of out of the carriage, pay him 5 silver.
Yeah.
And kind of swaying, not from drunkenness, but from weakness, wander into the library.
Okay.
What do you do here?
I grumpily shove my... No, I don't, because I was going to return my library books, but nothing fucking matters anymore, so I'm going to find a fucking book on Nethys.
All right. Go ahead. And we're going to say that outside of recording, we sort of talked about downtime kind of research activities. So what we're going to do here is how long are you going to take doing this? The rest of the day?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a religion check with we'll give it a +2 bonus for kind of using the resources of the library for the day.
Mm-hmm. What check is this? I'm sorry?
Religion with a +2.
Religion with +2. 26.
Okay. 26. There are certainly books here on Nethys, the all-seeing eye. Give me just a second if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Well, one, do you want to see what he looks like?
Yeah. It's really cool.
Well, you learn many things about him. No one quite knows where Nethys first came from. There's rumors that maybe once he was a mortal that ascended, but he is not one of the 3 ascended. One of the 3, again, this is homebrew, everybody. One of the 3 mortals in the last few thousand years that have ascended. If he was indeed a mortal that ascended to godhood, this happened in the forgotten times of history. Mm-hmm. He's the god of magic. Wow. He is known for being very erratic, being kind of split eternally in between wanting to destroy everything and wanting to preserve and cherish everything. He has various levels of popularity throughout the world, but in Abaria, he's not very popular. Supposedly, he is more popular in Scala, the continent ruled by the immortal Dragon King. This is kind of across the world a little bit. He's the god of magic of all kinds, destructive or for just general kind of tool usage. He reveres, and he doesn't often love and really, really cherish his mortal worshipers, but the ones he cherishes the most are the ones that use magic the most. And there isn't really a hard, it doesn't have to just be for good. It could just be people that use powerful magic. But he also cherishes those who use magic in their everyday and who invent new kinds of magic and come up with new tools and come up with new aspects and uses of magic that had never been thought of before, and give everyday people a chance to use magic and appreciate magic. And as you read this, you begin to, in your mind, the one figure that stands out to you that Nethys would probably really, really like is Philina Sunwalker. But in general, with the arcane revolution that's been happening in the last 200 years, Nethys would, according to kind of the text you're reading, Nethys would probably really enjoy this kind of thing. However, one other big point that you begin to learn about Nethys is that he knows pretty much everything. His knowledge is vast. His experiences are vast. In the process of gaining this knowledge and this power, something in him broke, splitting him into 2. The side of destruction, the side of preservation. And these two sides are ever at war within himself. Temples are often libraries, often places of knowledge and of magic, which is probably why there was a shrine to him in Dragon Mount Academy. Mm-hmm. I'll say that's what you learn on this first day of research.
So is he like neutral?
Like in traditional alignment?
Yeah.
In traditional alignment, he is like dead neutral.
Okay, interesting.
Though I will make the point of saying that at times he might act very, very good and very, very positively towards mortals, and others on some sort of whim just destroy something immense.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of thinking to do. Fuck. God. Okay, but how does any of this relate to me? Like, I feel like I've also got like a war going on in my head of like yeah, sometimes I get mad and break things, but like whatever, like it's not hurting anybody. And I don't know.
As you read this and as this kind of sets in, especially given the state you're in, the kind of downcast, worried, anxious state you're in, you begin to rethink your own skill. And you know you're skilled. It's been apparent ever since you were young. That's why you were sent. That's why the shelter coughed up the money to send you to Dragon Mount Academy. You were clearly skilled at the gate. But as you've begun to rise in power, gain access to higher rank spells, become more powerful, suddenly that power takes on, in your mind, a slightly more ominous tone. Not because you don't trust yourself necessarily, but knowing who sent you to this world, you begin to rethink the influence that you might have on it. Especially given the weight of his words, saying that your choices will matter. As you kind of wrap up your research for the day, you could probably stay until the library closes. Mm-hmm. And they have to kind of shoo you out of here. As you head back to the shelter, if that is indeed where you're heading.
I think I will, just out of anger.
So as you head back to the shelter, you continue to think on the interaction and the words that Nethys spoke to you. Your choices will matter. Important times are coming. He sent you after some of the other gods had done the same, saying that they're meddling. And you begin to wonder how. You being the fourth born of the 5 foundling siblings. What did he mean by that? And why would he, through you, want to influence it? You aren't sure. But though 3 weeks have passed, it's felt like one continuous day. Mm-hmm. And as you reach the shelter, the feeling, this weight falls upon your shoulders, falls upon your chest. That today, though it was broken up over 3 weeks, today has changed everything. That's what we'll pick up next time.
Sheesh.